Okay, let's get started. So today, we are going to discuss a concept called virtual machine scale set. Okay, this comes under your compute section. Okay, but before going into this to see what it is, right? So yesterday, just a quick touch on yesterday what we discussed, right? So yesterday we discussed about load balancer, like how you can set up a load balancer, a standard Azure load balancer, and how you can set up something like a global level or cross region load balancer, right? So we had something like this where we had like two VMs which was sitting on a specific network or a region. Okay, let's say we had something like this and a different VM which was sitting here in a different region. Okay, and we had something like a load balancer which was configured. I'll just say Azure standard LB, and here also we had a Azure standard LB, and then we saw like how probably I'll just put as Central India, and this one is in East Asia. So this was a setup which we had, and then like we saw like how the global load balancer is going to look like, and we had something like this Azure standard global LB, okay, which was configured on top of this, and we attached these two load balancers to our global load balancer. Okay, this is what we have seen. But okay, so we know load balancers help in routing the traffic, right? So in this case, it will route the traffic to VM1 and 2, VM1, VM2 for this load balancer. And if this machine is not there, then all the machine is going to go to VM2. And if this whole region is out, all the traffic is going to go with this as well. I mean, irrespective of even though if this region is not down, still depending on the latency of your request from whichever region you're trying, it is going to route your request to the respective region where the latency is less. It's going to route it. That is in case of global load balancer. But the problem is, yesterday, if you remember, like we have taken down one machine, okay, and then in that case, all the requests were going for a single machine. That can still be a bottleneck, okay. So because of heavy workload, also that machine also can run into a problem, which means like we will not be having a our application uptime, like you will not have a highly available application in that case, right? So if both the machines were removed, and if you remember yesterday, like during the session only, we configured the application during the runtime and we were doing all those checks, okay. But the problem which I'm trying to say is like if these machines gets terminated, right, then that is a problem, okay. So we should have a mechanism where we go and tell, okay, this is going to be my template, okay. You keep this template whenever a problem happens to a machine. Let's say for XYZ reason a machine gets terminated or if it gets faulted, then you automatically launch a new machine with the template whatever I'm going to give and bring up the application, because these things are sitting on under the load balancer. So your connection string for the end user is not going to change. So you know, like your load balancer will have a public IP, okay, which will be available, right? So again, this will also have a public IP which will be available. And this public IP, again, like you can have a DNS record, okay? Like I think this we didn't see yesterday, but today we'll see. You can make a DNS entry saying like for your public IP route to a specific URL. Okay, so that end user will always going to be hitting the URL, but backend, whatever is changes are happening, they don't worry about it, right? So you can do something like this. Now, the thing which I just told, right? Like there should be a way how we can tell Azure, like if something happens to my machine, you launch a new machine. Or the other use cases, let's say, I know for a specific period of time, the load is going to be high. Maybe for that period alone, I need more number of machines to serve my customers. Okay. For example, if you take your any e-commerce site and all, right, they will run festive sales or any sales which they do, right? So during that time, obviously the load which they get is obviously it's going to be high, and they should have a feasibility to scale up their infrastructure just for a specific period of time and then scale in once the request is completed. Okay, so for all those things, if it is a VM, okay, your virtual machine scale set is going to help. Okay, that is the problem this is going to solve. Let's see it in action, like how this works. Okay, and so just to uh, come from the beginning, you can just search for virtual machine scale set. You'll see here, or you can just type VMSS. This will also take you to this virtual machine scale set. Okay, let's go and create this scale set. Like any other resource, you need a subscription and a resource group, which we'll use. And before going here, right, I'll quickly show you, like I don't have any resource yet on this resource group. Okay, let's go to the virtual machine scale set. We'll create it. Let's use the lab RG. And you have to define the virtual machine scale set name. I'll just say web VMSS. We'll just give some name. And I can define the region and availability zone. Since we are just doing it for demo, I'll just go with zone 1. So we will come to this option in a while, but for now, I'm just choosing a uniform. This is nothing but, like I told you, like we are just going to tell Azure to launch multiple machines for us depending on certain conditions. So if you go with uniform, it's going to be the like same set of machines which would be launched. If it is flexible, right, like you can have different flavors of machines in this. At least like I have not seen this being extensively used, but that's the usage of that. Okay, we will be using this uniform, and then for now I'll just leave this to manual. I told like you can scale up, scale down. Okay, this is that option. I'm going to leave it as it is. Okay, I'll just say instance count as 1 for now. That's fine. And you have to define, I told you, like we have to define our template, right? Like what is needed for our use case. So I'm telling use Ubuntu 24.04 as a OS version. And let's select VM size. Let me see if we have, okay, I think I will, let's see, no grouping. I just wanted to check if we have any other like smaller VMs so that it would be easy. Let's see. For example, if I have to sort this based on CPU. Okay, let's go with this. No, that's fine. Okay, okay, this is ARM thing. Okay, wait. I'll just say group. I just wanted to remove that grouping so that it would be easy. Let's pick this one maybe. See if this is available. Okay. Supported by higher storage performance with NVMe. Okay, that's fine. And let's set the username. So most of the few things would be similar to what we used to fill for a virtual machine. But I'll tell you like what is the difference. Once we create it, you will see the difference. Okay, and like spot instance here also you have an option, but we're not going to use the spot instance for now. And this is for the OS disk. Like any virtual machine, this is also going to have a network. I will leave it as it is. Let it create a default network, and this is going to be our subnet. I'm okay with that. Okay. And here also it's going to create a NIC. Okay. Because the network interface card is going to hold our IP. So that's fine. And let's create this one. Anyone saying something? No, right? Okay. I don't know. I just heard some noise. So right now we're just defining the virtual machine scale set. Okay. And we have instructed Azure. Okay. I just need one VM for now. Okay. And it is going to provision it. Let's see. This won't take much time. Like it should finish in few seconds. Okay. At least less than a minute. That's what I've seen. So once this is uh, done, right? Probably then only I can show you. Maybe we just have to wait. Let's go here. Okay, this is done. I can go from here also. So this has whole bunch of different options like what we used to have for our virtual machines. Okay, and this has this operating system configuration, all these things. But let's go and check. Okay. Um, so how many VM we gave? I gave one virtual machine, right? Now, if I go to the virtual machine section, you will not be seeing a VM here, okay? Because we haven't provisioned a normal virtual machine. So whatever we have done, it is going to be part of your virtual machine scale set, okay? So here, if you go and see, you will find an instance which is running here with a web-vmss underscore 01. Okay. And this is the instance which we have launched. This instance will not be visible in your normal virtual machine instances. If you want to manage something, you have to come here and then go for this VM or whatever VM it is. Okay. And again, here also, like if I want to connect to this VM, right, I can definitely do it via serial console. And like yesterday, I can install the required application, etc., and then set up the load balancer. But that is not going to solve our problem, right? So I told you, like every time I don't want to come here and do things. Okay, we'll see how that is going to work. Okay. Uh, before I show you that, I will also show you one more thing. Okay. While deploying this virtual machine scale set, we did get an option about scaling. Okay. I've chosen manual, but this is the place where you can come and change it. Okay. So what I can do here, it's just a click. I can just if I want like maxes up to 1,000. If I want to spin up 1,000 VMs of the same type, all I can just do is come here and do this resize. Okay, but for this demo, let's keep it 2. Okay, and let me click on save. Now, if you see, like once this is saved, and we'll go to the instances window, and you will soon see another machine is getting created based on the template whatever we have given. Okay, so what template we gave, we just told use the Ubuntu machine with 2 CPU and 8 GB RAM. It's going to create a another machine, and it'll just keep it. But you might be thinking like, then what about the web server which we installed, right? So it is just a plain vanilla VM without any configuration. So let's wait for this. Okay, now if you see two VMs are up, okay, this is purely based on the scaling factor, whatever we have given. So as of now, it is manual. Okay, we have just two VMs as per this state. It has provisioned two VMs and given to us. Okay, now each VM, okay, you can add something called extensions to your virtual machine. Okay, this is like whatever I'm telling, right? This is applicable for your normal virtual machine also. I'll quickly show you where it is. So if you go to advanced, right? So here you have something called extension. Okay. So using this extensions, you can do certain things, or like here, what we are going to do is I'm going to run a custom script basically. You can also do it with the custom data and cloud in it. Okay. But let's, for our case, we are just going to install an extension. Okay. And within that extension, we're going to feed something. Okay. Let's see how we can do it. What I'm going to do is there is a custom script for Linux. Okay. Which we can use. Similarly, for Windows, you can run a PowerShell script if you want to like run. So these scripts gets executed when you launch a VM. So for the first time, they get executed. What I will do is I'll just say you add this extension for me. Okay. And for this extension to work, okay, we should provide the script files. Okay, and this is going to be referred in our storage account. Okay, maybe I'll just show you again. Custom script task for Linux. Next, I cannot just directly upload it from my local. So this, once I click on browse, it will tell me on which storage account I have my script. So you all know like what is the use of storage account. What I'm going to do is I am going to create a storage account now because I don't have one. Let's quickly create one storage account, and I'll just say Azure VMSS 1702 as the storage account name, and let's go with LRS. That's fine. And I'm not worried about all other options for this demo at least, so let's not go into that. I'll quickly create the storage account. And once this is done, we are going to create a container. And within that container, this is the script which I am going to upload. Okay. So if you see here, this is something which we did manually. Okay. Now we have put together in a single script. Okay. And we have defined the host name, all those things, and it is going to dynamically pick this host name basically. When you run it, whatever is the machine host name, it will take and it will just run it, and it's going to give us this web page. And at the end, we're just enabling Nginx and doing a restart. Okay, enable is nothing but you enable a service at Windows level, right? Whatever you do here, like if you go and okay, maybe let's see if I have any other service. That one I don't have permission. Okay, all these are like system things. That's fine. Windows update. Let's see. Okay, at least this, I think I should have access. Yeah, this is like if it is disabled, you set it to automatic so that whenever a restart happens, your service will be in enabled state. Okay. So it's a very simple script. The rest all is all like HTML formatting. We're just writing it to where HTML index.html. That's it. Okay. Our storage account is created. Let me go to the containers and I'll just say script and enter. what I am going to do is I'll go inside the script. I'll just say upload. Let's say browse files. I'll just go here, and this is for this, and this is our script. Okay, I'm just uploading that script here, and that's it. Now let's go back to our virtual machine skill set, and we have to go to the extensions, and I'll just say add custom script. Next, browse. This is the storage account, and my scripts are inside this, and this is the script which I want to attach. Okay, let's say create. So now it is updating this extension. Okay, that is all we are doing here. If I go here, let's check extensions and application. Okay, it says like status is creating. Automatic update status not supported. That's fine. Now we have told this virtual machine skill set. Okay, this is something I wanted to do. Okay, but we haven't told our virtual machines to go and pick up this script. Okay, because this is something which we added after creation of this VM. Okay, so what I can do, if you see latest model is no, initially it was yes. Okay, you can just click on this. For now I'm just clicking on this VM. Okay, if at all, if I want to do for both, I can do it like this as well, but that's fine. Let's just do it for one. I'll just say upgrade virtual machine. Okay, if you see, this action will manually upgrade virtual machine to the latest model. While upgrading, the instance may be restarted. Do you want to upgrade? I'll just say yes. So maybe restarted is, it depends on what kind of configuration change you are pushing, right? So some changes might need a restart to for it to complete the process. Okay, it says status 2 customs publisher could not no such file or this thing exit. Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, fine. I don't know, like from where this. Let's see, because the provisioning failed default as a default, which is insecure and no longer. Okay, this is okay, but let's see what it is. Okay, it says provisioning failed. Okay, let me see if I can get that error message again. But let's do one thing. Okay, I'll go to the instance. Let's click on this. If I go to the serial console, we'll get to know like what happened. Okay, because I didn't expect this to fail. So let's see. So this machine is not having any public IP yet. So that's why I'm going via this serial console. Okay, this is the one. Let's do sudo system ctl status and DNS. Okay, it didn't even install. Let's see what happened. This is the storage account. This is the script main.sh. Rest all looks fine. Let's see. instances. Or let's do one thing. We'll try running it manually. At least I just want to see if that is working or not. Let's go back to the. Okay, is anyone saying something?
Navin, does it require any storage account access to that VM that we spend in?
Storage account access. No, it should. I mean, no. Okay, because that's why we are able to fetch it. But we will see. Okay. Uh, because we have another VM which is as it is. Okay. Maybe for that we'll see. For now, I'll just try running it manually. I'll just say vi dot main dot sh, and I am going to paste this as a whole. Let's save this. Chmod. We'll just say main dot sh, and let's see if this works. Okay. If the whole thing got copied. Okay, there is a typo. I don't know if it is a typo or it's showing like that. Let's see. And sudo. Now let's try running this. Okay. This is working, which means there is no problem with the script at least. Okay. Let's run sudo systemctl. Okay, this is up and running. Now, what I wanted to do is, okay, let's go back. Let's try to update this VM. Okay, before that, see, I don't know if there was any other problem. And the changes what I did, right? I added sudo and all, right? I don't have to do it actually for the actual code which this VMSS would be using, because it will run it in the elevated permission only. Okay, it says custom script message failed. Let's say help me troubleshoot. Let's see with the exit command 2. So most likely it could be permission, but at least like when I tested, I mean, I don't have to give this explicit permission. That's what I had. Okay, but let's see what Copilot suggests. Okay, and yeah, we can also give permission. That's not a problem. But before giving, let's see. I also wanted to look at the message closely. Yes, checking the service status. Okay, let it check. Well, this is going on. Let's go and open. See, okay, this is still doing its work, right? Let's go to instances. Here, I don't see any problem. Let's log in here also, no? Because I'm still doubtful if it really went. Okay, it says review the check the logs for customer to identify. Okay, Verify script availability. Okay, wait. It is looking for script.sh. Okay, okay. Wait. Let's go here. I think that's not the extension we had, right? Let's go here. Custom script extension. Just say uninstall because we didn't give script.sh for sure. Or because here I just uploaded main.sh. Okay. Failed to VMSS. VMS reported failure processing this thing. Failed to execute command. Okay, this is fine. It's so if you see it's looking for script.sh. That is the problem. Let's see. We have deleted this thing. Let's say add some script extension. Next. Oh, okay. Okay. This is the problem, right? So the main.sh. Okay, this is what we had, but let's just say I don't want that. Let this go. Go to the resource. Okay, this won't come anyways. Let's go here and instances. I'll do only for this one because let's see if this is working or not. And while that is going, what we can do is, okay, it is saying updating. Let's just wait. This is saying like we are updating our VM. Okay, that's why it is in that status. But this has to finish. Okay, so now obviously this I don't think this would happen. But anyways, let's do it because we have already manually installed it. So it's going to anyways overwrite it, but that's fine. But going back to our discussion, right? So this is how you will have a template which is going to run and it's going to create your this thing application. So usually, right, these things will be bootstrapped depending on your application requirement. Okay, and these kind of application in most of the cases won't be like stateless. Stateless in the sense like there won't be any dependency directly related on the operating system. So any platform they'll just bootstrap it, take that code and unzip it, and with that some set of commands they should be able to set up. So that kind of things they will have. Now we know like this has installed it. Now we have also seen how the manual scaling worked. Okay. Now what I wanted to do is I am going to do a scale down again to 1 because like we will again see like with automatic scaling how it happens, but for that I want this to be back to 1. And okay, now if you go to the instances, this should say deleting this VM. Okay. So any questions so far? Any questions?
Yeah,
No.
Naveen, auto scale set,
Mhm.
it will spin the VM and also install the application, right?
Yes, that is where this extension comes into picture. So right now, like initially when I deployed, we were not having this extension. See, this is one way of doing it. Or the other way is if you already have a image which is already pre-baked with all the requirements, okay, then I can have my custom image in the template and use that also. So in this case, we are using this option like this. The options are like a lot. So for this demo purpose, I'm just showing you like this. So instead of having this custom script, you can have a link to your repo, okay, where your actual code is sitting. You can do a git pull and then run some shell script command or PowerShell command to set up your application when the VM is starting up. That is also another case. So all these things would be useful mostly for the application servers, but not for the DB servers because their things are little bit different, right? So we have to handle it in a different way there.
And one more question I
Mhm.
have, like this auto scaling, what basis it will do? Like the resource is more.
Yeah, we'll come to that. So as of now, we have seen manual. Okay,
Okay.
by moving this, I showed you the machine is getting created, and we have also seen like how the scaling is happening. Like right now, wait, we have only one VM since I did. Now we are going to see like how this is going to happen automatically. I'm going to show you that. Any other questions?
No, Naveen, for now. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So let's move on. Okay, right now we have like only one machine, and this time instead of manual scale, let's go to custom auto scale. Okay, here you have to define something called auto scale settings, and there is something called predictive auto scale where it's going to continuously learn from your monitoring data and decide when you want the scale up should happen. Okay. Since all these are new VMs, I don't want to go with this, but we are going to go with the condition based auto scaling. Okay. So I can say scale to a specific instant count. Okay. And I can also say like scale based on a metric. Okay. So this is what you would be seeing. Like this is where like your metrics comes into picture. I think yesterday also there was a question when we discussed about load balancer. I think someone asked if, on what basis this routing is going to happen. Like it's going to be dynamic or if more load, how it is going to have help and all. So that is where this auto scale and all comes into picture. Right now we are going to add a rule. Okay, I am going to tell metric source you pick from this one, okay, which is our virtual machine scale set. And we can go based on percentage CPU, disk queue, like this whole bunch of other things are there. For this demo sake, to keep it simple, I'll go with percentage CPU. Okay, I'll say when the condition, okay, this is it's showing the average is 1.63. Okay. But what I will say is when the operator, the CPU usage is more than maybe I'll just say 5%. Okay. For so I think the minimum it takes is 5. Okay. So we'll keep 5 and fine grain statistics. It's going to be average. We are going to look at the average for this duration. Okay. And then action. Action is something you are going to tell what you want to do, like increase count by or increase percentage by. So usually you'll be seeing increase count by. You can also say decrease percentage, all those things. Okay, but increase count by. I'll just say you increase it to for this demo. I'll just say 3. Okay, then cool down period. Okay. So cool down is nothing but once things are stable, okay, for how long you have to wait before you scale down. I'll just say 1 minute, okay, but or let's keep 5 minutes only, so that we'll have some time to check things. So this is where you set all those condition, okay, and I'll just say apply here. Instance limit, okay, again, like based on this condition it can keep on adding VMs, but we don't want to do that. I'll say minimum is 1, max you can go up to probably 6. Default, I'm okay to go keep it to 1 because I'm fine. Okay, this is something we are doing it for testing. Now we'll just click on save. So as of now we have only one VM, okay, and let's go to our instance, and we have a custom auto scaling condition which is enabled. Let's go to our instance. I'll go here. Again, I'm going to connect via the serial console. So we are going to do something which is going to simulate some workload, and we will see how the auto scaling happens. Before that, let's go to the metrics, and you have something called percentage CPU usage, and I can pick for last 1 hour. This is the rough data. Okay. Now we are inside this VM. I have another command which can simulate the CPU load. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste it. It's going to download a package, and it is going to do a stress on CPU for 10 minutes. Okay, that is what this is going to do. And if you just see this data, right, you will slowly start seeing our CPU going high, which we should soon see it because we just started. Probably while that is happening, what we can do is we'll just wait for like 1 more minute, or that's fine. What we will do is while that is happening, we will see, okay, going back to the diagram, how you can set up a load balancer, because whatever we have seen till yesterday, it is all VM we manually configured. Now we know how we can automate that process. Now we want to integrate. So whatever we have done the integration yesterday, the load balancer was attached to a individual virtual machines, whatever we have selected. This time we don't want to do that. So I can have sometimes 2 machines, I can have 10 machines also, depending on my auto scaling settings, right? So our load balancer should be able to dynamically pick that and spread the workload. That is what we are going to see. Okay, and let's see. This will gradually go. That's fine. While that is happening, one more thing what we can do is, let me open one more window. You can actually track these auto scaling events and all, which you can see here. Scaling, if I go to run history, last 1 hour, so you will see, okay, if at all there is a scaling event happening, you will see, and also you should be seeing changes happening. So you see, right, it actually started. Now if you see, because I think it's not reflecting soon here. Yeah, you see, right? The graph is also going up. You can see the CPU went to 55%, and you can see the VMs started to create. I told like go and create 3 VMs, right? That is what you see happening here. And now this is getting created. So let's just wait for this, and soon we should have our VMs here. Just give me 1 minute. Actually, I had some water here. It just spilled on my laptop charger. Just a minute. I'm just removing it so that nothing happens to the laptop. Okay. Yeah. So now because of that metrics, now you see the auto scaling has kicked in and it has created a three more VMs to accommodate our workload. So once this is done, right, probably now we have the VM. What I can show you is let this be as it is. Okay, we'll quickly go and create a load balancer while that is going on. Let's say now I'm going to set it on lab RG and I'll just say web VMSS ALB. Okay. And this is going to be in central India and this is going to be a public load balancer. And let's quickly have a front end configured. I'll just say front end ALB IP config and we need a public IP. I'll just say ALB pip a public IP and save this. Let's click on save. Backend pool. I'll just say web backend pool and we have to select the network. Let's click on add. So this time, if you see, yesterday we were seeing our virtual machines, right? Now, if you see, it is a virtual machine scale set which you're setting. Okay, the scope is for this virtual machine scale set so that if you have any VMs which is getting added or removed, this will be within your virtual machine scale set. Okay, that is one difference when you do this setup. And load balancing rules, let's say, I'll just say web ALB rule. Let's do the mapping and it's going to be port 8080 and we have to set the probe. I'll just say web hyphen probe, save. Then outbound rules. I'm not going to set that for now. Let's go and create it. Because I want to see, okay, let's see if this is still there, right? Because I think this will be there till this finishes. And there is a cooling period also. Okay. Uh, let's wait. Go to resource. Now let's take this IP. I don't think it's going to work sooner because we just launched, but let's see. I'll just put it here. I want to see like from which machine it is giving the data. One more thing which we haven't done yet. Okay. Uh, let me refresh this. Okay, this is still there and it's slowly coming down. That's okay. It says site cannot be reached. Let's see. We know there is something called NSG, which has to be checked for these things. Let's go to the network security group and let's see. The inbound rule is not available. I'll go and add allow HTTP and I'll just say 500 allow HTTP. Let's see. This should help. We'll just wait. Now the inbound rule is also added. I think we should be good. Say reload. And one more thing. Okay. So for this use case at least, right? If you remember yesterday, as soon as we attached the load balancer, okay, the outbound traffic gets blocked because your internet is not available. For that, we have to set up something like you have to enable that outbound rule for your traffic outbound connections to happen. Okay. So we'll also do this setup because we might need this if I want to check something. What I will do is I'll just say web outbound and we'll use this same public IP and let's use this for that rule. And I'll just give randomly like 10 VMs as the max. That's okay. While that is happening, wait, let's see. Because I don't know. Okay, anyways, the VMs which we had scaled scaled up was automatically, I mean, scaled up. Okay, even before attaching the ALB, I mean Azure Load Balancer, it was already up and running. But just to make sure, like there is no problem with the outbound connection, I just did that. The other thing which I wanted to check is like if we go to this virtual machine scale set instances, let's go and check if there is any provisioning failure and all, it's going to report here. I don't see that problem. Let's see. Let's refresh. Ideally, it should work, but let's see if it is not working. We'll try to troubleshoot it. So the health probe is this. That's okay. Was added to the update. Okay. Okay. So one thing which I didn't do yet is, okay, if you see, we have to update our instance for this to tell there's a load balancer which was attached. So you have to route the traffic. Okay. Let's click on update. And then you should see the status getting changed. Okay, you see now that has gone. Let's wait for this to finish and let's go here. Now, if you see, this is coming from 003, okay, which means this one, okay, this is the computer name. Now, what I can do is I can just say delete this VM, okay, and now you see the traffic. Now it's shifted to 4. Like that, it is going to change. And eventually, okay, this also got completed. So what is going to happen is like soon my scale down will also get triggered, okay, because we have told the condition like after 5 minutes, if there is no much workload, you do a scale in, which means eventually these two VMs will get removed in some time. But now, if you see, we have added the load balancer also. Now, on top of this, what we are going to do is I am going to set up the DNS as well. Okay, let's go to the DNS zone and we'll quickly create one. This is my domain. Let's go here and review and create. This once this is done, we have to update our name servers here because then only our domain gets registered. Let's go inside this and what is that? Okay, it's here. So I hope like you all are aware of this step which we have already seen when we talked about the DNS, like
Yes, Naveen.
we can manage,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. So we are updating the name server in GoDaddy and we are telling them if you get any request to this site, you route it to Azure. So I'm going to handle it in Azure and we'll set a record here. And what I'm going to say is web, and we have to add the public IP address of our ALD. Okay, I'll remove this and remove this. Once this is done, let's go, and I can just copy the thing from here. Now what I can do is I can just hit this. Still, it's not, it takes some time, but usually like once the sync is happened, it's going to route the traffic, okay, to this side. Let's wait for some more time and see. While that is happening, let's see if these VMs are as it is, right? That's okay. At least now we know how the auto scaling is coming in and triggering, okay? And uh, you know like how you can push a custom script during the launch of the VM, and we have also seen how you can add a load balancer on top of it, and we also checked this is working. That's fine. Now if you see it went to 000, okay, which means something is going to happen for those other VMs. But anyways, that's fine, we'll see. My only thing is this should work, but sometimes it can take time for that to sync and to start working. I'll just check, double check if we have set things correctly. It is a record and GTL is okay. And this is the IP. Fine, I think that looks okay. And okay, wait, we are updating the name servers using custom name. Okay. Because sometimes updating this name server also takes time. But let me just cross check if this looks fine. DNS.info. Let me just copy this. I just wanted to double check if we have added everything correctly. This looks okay. Let's check this. This is also fine. And this is also fine. And it is a record which we have added. So yeah, the rest all looks fine. Let me maybe I'll just take a new session. Okay. It's still taking time. That's okay. We'll just wait for a few more minutes and see if this is working. But that is what I had for today. So tomorrow, what we are going to see is you have this, not tomorrow, the next session. Tomorrow we don't, on Wednesday we don't have any session. So whatever we have seen so far, these routings happen. Like it is based on the your port. Okay, let's say if you have let me take, not based on URL based routing, you don't have, like say I have something like a separate folder, like say for example doc.index.html. Let's say if it is a different page, I want to have a set of pool, or if it is like images, I have a separate web page like that. URL based routing for a different set of backend, we'll see like how you can configure something like that with load balancer. That is something next we will see. Let's see one last time. I'll just take this load balancer IP again. At least if with this IP it is working, that's okay, because that is what we can see. I'll just remove this. Okay, at least with this IP it is working. I think if you guys are also hitting, it's going to work, okay, because the traffic is open. If anyone is wants to try, you can try. It should go to any of those VMs only. But my only thing is, it's if we are able to do it with that URL, that's going to be good. Okay, let's see if that URL is working. Okay, it's not working, right? Fine, we'll not spend more time, because if the sync is going to take some time, we don't have to wait for that, at least for now. Yeah, I think that's all I had for today. I will stop the recording